Look at all this paperwork. Call to order monthly Parks and Recreation Board meeting, Tuesday, August 19th. If we'd stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Chandra Parks. James Letton.
Here.
Mark Irvin.
Here.
Shannon Powers.
Here.
Brad Marshall.
Here. Chandra did let me know she had another commitment and was not going to be able to be here tonight. So, next on the agenda, we've got the approval of the minutes from the July meeting. There's no discussion or revisions. I would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Next, we've got the superintendent report with Mr. Carl Malone.
Good evening, Board.
Evening.
All righty. So we've been busy getting ourselves ready for IU Big Volunteer Day, September 12th. So we have been starting primarily at Alshire Park, trying to get some small renovation work done there, removing the mulch, removing the old basketball goals, and then filling in some of the cracks. Our biggest challenge right now is quite a bit of old rubber mulch that's considered obsolete. So we've been there for 4 or 5 days with heavy equipment trying to get all that mulch out. We got an individual from CRG will be here tomorrow to kind of give us some assistance and let us know if we're going in the right direction. It's pretty time consuming, but we're going in the right direction. We got majority of it out. We just know how far down we got to go. And so, in speaking with Travis today, he's just going to come in tomorrow and give us some direction so we can go ahead and get that project completed and then move on to what else we got to get done. Got to put a new roof on the shelter house there, and then replacing old basketball backboards and rims, and then we got some small minor cracks we got to fill in, and then they're going to paint the playground equipment for us there at Alshire. Next, I'd like to introduce our new program director, Mark White. And Mark, if you just stand up, please. So this is Mark. Mark comes with us with some backgrounds at Muncie Boys Club, years of service there, Ivy Tech, as well as director Upper Bound, and also he had some programming background with the Boys and Girls Club of Ohio. And he also was part of our summer youth program when we did our first year. He was probably 12 or 13 years old, so he's kind of been around the community. I had my eye on him for quite some time, so I got the guy that I wanted. So thank you, Mark.
Excellent. Welcome, Mark. Thank you.
Tui Pool's next. We will be closing Labor Day weekend like we normally do every year. And then that's to the public. And then we'll have extended week the following week for the annual Dog Day drill in the pool. I've talked to Ms. Shannon about that, and I think we're good to go following anything happening as far as pumps and waters and valves. As long as those things are intact, we should be good. We'll start our draining and making minor repairs towards the latter part of September. And then Bud and Bond Moore should be sending over a quote. Nikki and I have made some contact with them about the renovation of our overall pit and to get us a quote so we kind of know where we at price-wise. And then once we get that, then we'll start putting together a plan to try to get that done as soon as possible.
Okay.
Thomas Park, restroom renovation work is underway. Basketball courts, work to be done over there is we're just going to try to make it do what it do as far as painting, making it look decent to play in. We can't maybe do any kind of renovation work this year, but it is on the radar. to have the basketball court overhauled for next year. And the splash pads will be closing during the end of the September as well. But I think we got a phone call today that they had to make some adjustments with the pool due to some work there on the water line there at the new bathhouse. So currently, right now, the water to the splash pad is off. Don't know. I found out towards the latter part of the day, so I don't know for how long that's going to be off.
And that's only at Thomas, right?
That's only at Thomas. So, Riverview Park, restroom construction is to be determined. I did attend Whiteley Neighborhood Association last week and had a conversation with those individuals out there that had some questions about timeline, things of that nature. So, as I know it to be, in the conversation that I had, it's just as soon as they get done, it may be simultaneously with the work being done at Thomas as well. The meeting I was in didn't seem like they was going to end that and then start. Like they may be able to go ahead and get started on Riverview as well. Same thing with splash pads. We'll be closing those splash pads and getting ready for pre-renovation late September. And I think that's it for Riverview, yeah. Yep, that's about it. That's all I have. It's real short. But everything else in Riverview is going fine. Water lines are being ran. Got geese poop that we have to deal with on a regular at Tui Pool. And definitely at Riverview, that's quite a bit. It's an ongoing problem. So other than that, we're fine. Westside Park, comments, reviews that I've gotten from the community in reference to the skate park. It's been very positive. That particular party and community really enjoys the opportunity to have that skate park out there for those folks that are in that community. They really like the fact that they have a chance to go out and do something that they love. So they wanted me to make sure I let the park board know that they appreciate all the efforts done by the board and the city. The basketball court, we've looked at what we can do there. We think we may have to have an overhaul, major renovation project done. I met with one contractor. We know it's in the floodplain, so we'll have to get the committee done. And that takes 3 to 6 months to get the green light to move forward on that. But in the meantime, we are going to paint the lines, clean the courts up, redo the rims, new nets, make it look as nice as we can until we can get that work done. And the softball field upgrades, we have the scoreboard ready to be installed. We have to change our power source, and then we got some lighting, things of that nature that we need to have upgraded as well. And then we have some interest from some softball people wanting to use Westside Park for next season, girls softball. So we should have that up and going, looking pretty nice as well. And then Heaton Park, basketball courts, we did some minor work this year. Zion Strong and his team came out throughout the course of the summer and helped with painting, securing some safety pads on the basketball goals themselves, some things of that nature. So we're thankful and glad that we was able to partner with him and his team this year. The biggest thing was the lights. People were complaining and really requesting that we have lights at that particular park. I also had conversation with people in the community, and the census was that, lights have always been part of that park, and it has. So we have portable lights at our first tournament, and then our second tournament, we was able to get the lights working right after the championship game. I think that Monday I had conversations with individuals, Expo president, some other individuals, and they kind of felt the same way. Let's try to get the lights on, and it's been a safety concern for many months. So we can keep it safe, and I think we'll keep the lights on for the community, unless we have other problems that we have to make some adjustments on. Park signs are in the process of being ordered.
Okay.
Heaton Park signs on 12th Street, both sides. The one that's on Hackney and 9th, that's a little more expensive, but we're going to get that done towards the end of the year. And then Jack's Park sign is burnt pretty bad. So we was out today taking some measurements, and we're soon to have those put in. And we should have some entry to our parks looking pretty good with new signs.
What type of material are you looking at?
Well, the wooden structure that we had at Heakin is what we had there, but it's more of the metal structure. It's a little more expensive. Like the quote, I think we got at Heakin was right around $6,000 for that. So it's a little bit expensive for that particular style. If you go with the wooden structure, which we had, I'm sure it'd be a little bit cheaper, but replacing it, it's kind of outdated. And what we have in all of our other parks are the metal structures. That's what we got in most of the other parks that we have.
So we're looking at the aluminum?
Yes,
Okay. And is that something we are ordering?
yes.
Okay.
We had to get
Two
the
or-
measurements and dimensions. So I spoke with them yesterday, and then we had our guy go out and start taking some measurements, and should have those over to him in the morning.
Good. So we are probably going to order 2 or 1?
We're gonna order one at Heek, and the other one is a wooden structure. That's
Okay.
gonna stay in place.
Got it.
So, the one at Jack's Park is a metal structure. So I think around $500 is what I'm being quoted. That's what I was quoted yesterday, about 500 or so. Because the framework is already in place.
Okay.
Just a matter of putting the template on. So, and that's what we have at McCollum, at Riverview, Halterman, same kind of structure that we have.
All the newest ones we've put in have been
Yes.
the metal style.
Yep. Kind of want to, be uniform
Yeah.
throughout the whole park, so.
What's the lifespan?
Um,
What do you think?
I don't know exactly, but I can tell you, they've been up and been around for the 5 years we've been here, so,
Can they be power washed?
yes.
Okay.
It's just the sun beams
Bakes
down
it.
and burns the actual structure itself, and that fades it, and so, but just taking that off, the framework stays in place. It's just putting the template with the city logo and then the actual park itself. And then, tennis courts have been talked about, at, Eakin as well, whether we're gonna keep it as tennis courts or, convert those to pickleball courts. So, been talking with the neighborhood association, about that. So there's been some concerns about, getting that up and going. So we're gonna try to make something happen, here next month or so. The neighborhood is wanting to pitch in and help, and, we're gonna see if we can maybe fill in the cracks and then maybe have it in-house where it don't cost as much. We don't have to outsource it, but go ahead and try to, if not, then we have to wait till next year. So
Do they want pickleball courts?
that's what we're discussing now.
Okay, so it's
Yeah,
not decided.
it's kind of like, I'm hearing both.
Okay.
I'm hearing pickleball and I'm hearing tennis both. So we may do one pickleball court, one tennis court. Softball diamonds in the horseshoe pits. Lights are working there. Running quite a bit of use, the horseshoe pit this year. And then the softball, diamond in Heakin has been used through the summer with Rampage softball community. Haven't had any light games, but they've been there during the daylight hours. So, and then over in that, we had our summers, come and went pretty fast, but we haven't had any issues at our parks. No police calls at our park. I think we had one incident down at Tui's. We made the changes, made the structures, talked to everybody there at Tui's. Everybody feels good about the changes that were made. So overall, had a decent summer. So, and that's all I have. If anybody got any questions in reference to parks?
Any questions for Carl?
I do. We had some pretty bad storms in July, and I was wondering if all the trees, you think have been picked up yet?
They
or
have not.
Okay.
We just had one 2 weeks ago, Sunday morning. I got a call about the one at Westside. We were thankful that the young man that was in the car didn't get hurt. He was in the car when the tree fell, having breakfast, but he was on the opposite side, and the tree fell on that side. So that's pretty big. You guys haven't seen that. That's a pretty big tree there in Westside. And then the two that we have at McCullum, we've attempted to get those out of there. Both times we got stuck. Ground just holds water in certain parts, especially on McCullum, on that north end. Water just saturates and it sits there. So I did talk to the team today, though, about trying to see if we can get back in there and get those two cut up and removed. So, but those are pretty good size. Those need to come out as well. And then there's a couple other dead trees that he's already marked. They need to come out. So got quite a few trees inside our parks that we got to remove.
And we're a little short-handed on that team right now as
We
well.
have
aren't we?
Dave, our new guy, and he's been talking with Nikki. He's been really trying to be proactive and getting ahead of trees that we have in our parks. He's trying to identify ones that need to come out. We were talking today out at Alshire, and there was a couple there. He said there's several trees in Washington Park. They're on Washington Street, need to come out. So we got a meeting tomorrow to talk with the Urban Forestry Board to kind of share our concerns there as well. So.
Thank you. Anything else for Carl?
I'm okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Carl. Next on the agenda, we've got the programming report and approval of events.
Good evening, board. Thanks for having me.
Thanks.
I have a few things to touch base on with you guys. The Muncie Teen Internship Program successfully completed on July 18th, 2025, and was celebrated by our admin team, worksite coordinators, team leads, and youth interns. Moving on to some more summer programming, baseball and softball camps with Randy O'Connor of the Barton Academy at Cambridge Field has wrapped up for the season. Our youth basketball league was wrapped up for the season, and the Muncie Chapter Black Expo Youth Basketball Tournament on August 1st at Heaton Park was a successful event. In partnership, we look to continue. The backpack drive with Walmart took place July 22nd in McCullough Park cabin from 10 a.m. to 12. It was another successful event in partnership which allowed us and the staff at Walmart South to give back to our youth in our community. Moving on to some fall programming, MPD versus MFD baseball game will take place this Saturday, the 23rd, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. 2 games will be played. The Barton Academy Slow Pitch Baseball League will take place Tuesday and Wednesdays from September 16th to October 29th, from 6 to 9:30 p.m. at Cambridge Field. The flyer and QR code are on our Facebook page. We have shared it on ours as well. Trunk or Treat is currently scheduled for October 25th from 6 to 8 p.m. to avoid conflicting with the Ball State University homecoming, which we were recently informed is taking place October 13th through the 18th. This is an event we co-sponsor with D's Creation and Catering, Boys and Girls Club of Muncie, and Walmart South. We have a sign-up sheet online for anyone who wants to participate in the event. We are seeking volunteers to help set up and work the event, candy sponsors, food sponsors, and activity booth sponsors. This is a fun, safe event for the youth in our community. Last year, we gave out close to 800 hot dog meals, and we plan on doing it again this year. If anyone or any local business would like to participate in this event, please complete out the online form or contact myself by email or phone. We'll be discussing with Christina and Tiffany of Walmart South about moving forward with winter wear / coat drive. It is currently scheduled for November 4th in McCullough Cabin from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. We'll be collecting new and gently used coats, hats, and gloves in October to donate to the members of our community who need them. We'll have a collection bin set up in our office and Walmart South. And that's our programs. Do you guys have any questions about those?
Any programming questions?
Are we doing any youth programming this fall?
Currently, I'm working on something with that, but currently, no.
Okay.
Hopefully by next meeting, I should have something
Okay.
in that aspect.
Any events for approval?
Yes. Ashley Duke LLC, they're requesting Heacon Park, September 6th and 7th. They want to host a back to school tournament for our youth. It's free. They have down 3 volunteers for security, looking like 3 vendors, and they're requesting a score table and some sort of pop-up tent for a DJ,
What type of event is it?
a youth basketball tournament.
Basketball. How many people are they expecting?
They don't have that down.
Okay. And they're going to have vendors?
Yes, 3.
Okay. And then don't they have to go to the health department to get a permit?
I think the vendors independently have to do that. But
Okay.
Yeah. And then we've got a vendor fee associated with the events.
And the 3 vendors that are on there are already certified with the Board of Health.
Okay.
Excellent. And I think the tent is on our normal list, rental list.
Yeah.
Then it sounds like the scoreboard is pretty standard. We do that for events like this. It's standard.
Is this promoted to MCS?
It's promoted
Schools or-
for any youth, but mainly our youth in Muncie.
Who are they marketing it? Do you have
Uh,
any idea?
Elementary, it's elementary through 9th grade.
Okay.
That's who they're promoting to.
Any other questions?
Is this their first time
I do believe
with
so.
us?
For this, but she's done other basketball camps and
Okay.
things, for the past like 2-3 years, over at Heacon and at McCullough. I think she did one you guys approved like 3 months ago, where it was like a 2-day, basketball, skills camp. So
Okay.
she's done several events over the
Okay.
past couple years.
I don't remember having any issues. It's about
No,
pretty well
no.
attended and organized events. Any other questions? Not, entertain a motion to approve.
So moved?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Any other events?
Nope, that's all for now.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Mark. Welcome to the team.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Next on the agenda, we've got the Prairie Creek report with Misty Rance.
Good evening, Board, and good evening, everyone. My name is Misty Rains, and today just marks a little over a month since I have joined the team as the interim operations manager at Prairie Creek. The first 2 weeks that I was on the scene consisted of a lot of training, getting to know the staff and the property while balancing reports and existing obligations and events at Prairie Creek. In the last month, we've tackled several large ticket items. I know something that was a topic of discussion online was an injured juvenile bald eagle that we were able to successfully get to a rehab center in collaboration with the Indiana DNR conservation officers and our Prairie Creek staff. That is a little bit of good news to share with that. We've knocked out several big ticket items from the campground inspection report as well. We have also been repairing several vehicles, equipment, and facilities with more information to come on that. Very recently, we received access back to the Prairie Creek Reservoir Facebook page, which is something that had been held in limbo since I have been on the team. This is something that we hope to update very soon with current information to be dispersed to the public in collaboration with the City of Muncie's Communication Department. We also have some updates to our hours of operation in regards to Labor Days in the month of August. Due to staffing availability, a lot of our staff that is here seasonally, that works our boat and beach, have returned to college or back to school. So that has impacted some of our hours of availability at Prairie Creek Reservoir. These are updates that we hope to post onto Facebook as well. At this time, they are currently physically posted on a lot of the entryways to the doors. That has been something that we have been trying to navigate this month. We have also, this Saturday, met with the Friends of Prairie Creek Reservoir, and we had a really good dialogue discussion pertaining to future plans and events and collaborations between Prairie Creek and the Friends Group. We do have events too that need approval, and I would like to check the status of approval on some of these items that came before I joined the team, but I can discuss that more in a few moments. Do you guys have any particular questions for me at this time?
Any questions for Misty? No, I think we'd move right on to event approvals. What you got?
Awesome. Let me sift through my notes here. So one that I just got recently today, as of 2:30, I got a call from a group. It is the Delaware County Raccoon Hunting Club. They own a property very close to the boat launch at Prairie Creek Reservoir, and they were calling to ask for the permission to utilize the City of Muncie bleachers for an event that they have on August 27th and August 28th. I asked if they had filled out event forms in the past. They said that this is an event that they have been doing for 8 years now. They said that they have not filled out event forms to their knowledge, so I have tried to get some of the information from the event forms for this, since it would be utilizing bleachers, but it would be occurring on their property, which is housed beside the boat launch. I was wanting to ask your guys' input and see if that is something that we are able to accommodate.
I do know that they've had this event before, and I don't remember that they've requested anything outside of using the facility. I think that would probably fall into our traditional rent fee structure for those bleachers.
Okay.
We may need to look at if we have to do an additional surcharge, because that's certainly a longer drive than any of the other local parks. So Carl, that's something we'll need you to look at, or Nikki, to see how we need to handle that.
Check availability.
And availability.
This is the first I'm hearing of it, and I know that the bleachers are going out to 2 other events that week, so I need to.
Check on that as well. Okay.
Yes, this was an event I was called about at 2:30 p.m. today regarding, so
Okay.
it is very new to me as well.
Yep.
One of the other events that we have proposed is from a gentleman named Steve Ogle. This is a celebration of life event that I believe has also been done annually for around 8 or so years. The date and time for the event are August 31st, around 2 p.m. until 10 p.m. The area that they are requesting is the beach area on property. They expect 150 to 200 attendants. They have a vendor, Neighborhood Pizza, which is a food truck that they anticipate being there. They have requested the stage and 1 set of bleachers. And I believe that is the information that I have for them. They have paid the $25 fee, I believe. Is there any other information that you guys need regarding that event?
Do they have a plan for security for that event?
That is a wonderful question. Denoted on the sheet, I am not seeing anything, but I can investigate that further.
Yeah.
This is that annual memorial concert that they have out there.
Right.
On the Labor Day weekend.
So with an event of that size, I think we do need to require security of some form,
Okay,
either through one of their,
And it's at the beach area
correct.
during,
I think that's where they had it last year as well.
okay, that's a Sunday when it's open to the public?
I believe so. It's August 31st
Yeah.
from 2 until 10 p.m. I myself am not familiar with this event, as I was not a part of it last year, but it does sound like it is something that occurs every year. I can find out a little bit more information if you would like on what specific area near to the beach they will be utilizing.
I think they've set up kind of behind the beach house before, similar to where we do the Ron Days events.
Okay,
And I don't remember any conflicts or issues in the
Okay.
past. Security would be the main one that we need to make sure that they follow up on. We'll have some security in place for that. Any other questions regarding the Celebration of Life event?
What did we say about security?
That it'll be required.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Any other questions? If not, I would entertain a motion for approval pending providing details on the security team that will be present at that event. And stage and bleachers would fall under the normal rental fees. Same thing with that, Carl, look to make sure if we've got additional travel to bring those out to Prairie Creek. I think our fees are structured for the in-town parks, but if we've got any additional fees for that. Yet again, that falls into the same week, so if we've got any conflicts, those may have mixed availability. So, otherwise, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Any other events?
At this time, we have our security officer, Brian Griffin, who has an idea to pitch for an event in the coming months. He has more information on that. And if possible, I would like to invite him up to ask and give us more information about that.
Well, Ron?
Hey, good morning, or afternoon.
Afternoon, evening.
So we had our event out there with the Jeep Club. So we have some money left in our account, and we want to give back to the community. So what we was thinking was to end the last Saturday of next month, I think it's 27th, having a movie night in the campground, giving back to Prairie Creek for supporting our event. So and that would clean up our money out of our account for the year. So what we was looking at, maybe a movie, 2 movies, depending on how many we get show up. So we was thinking right there at the park area. So hot dogs would be free, water and probably some chips. So I don't know if I need to fill out an event for them, or do you guys? I mean, I can throw one together and give it to Misty, but I wanted to see what your guys' thoughts was.
Would the intention be, would this be family event?
Family event.
Family
Yeah.
event.
Yeah, it'd be kid-friendly movies, nothing probably scary, probably a Disney movie. So I have I think it's a 72-inch projector, so they can take a blanket and sit out there and watch a movie. So we want to get back to the community.
Anything you need from the board or the office?
Nope, just power, but I have a generator, so if it ain't power out there, so we have everything.
I assume you've talked with Friends of Prairie Creek and
I
some of
have
them out
not.
there? Okay.
Wanted to come to you. I kind of been pitching to her
Misty,
since
yep.
she started. Me and Tani was talking about it.
Excellent.
It's kind of getting late in the season, so we want to do something before it got.
Well, I think that'd be a great one to partner with them as well. I think they'd got some connections as well.
So there you go. I can get with her. I'm supposed to meet with her afterwards, so.
Any questions?
No, that sounds good.
I think we will need an event application for that.
Okay.
But I think conditionally, we could approve that here at this board meeting, once you get all the paperwork filled out with Misty or Nikki there.
Yeah, I'll get it to
regarding
her
those
tomorrow.
events.
So.
Okay.
I'd entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Sorry, guys. Misty, did you have anything else?
One other additional update that we have as well pertains to our North Shore campground restrooms and increasing our security and safety pertaining to those. With that, I'd like to invite Carl up to speak a little bit more about some of the actions that we're taking. We also have Sam with Security Pros here tonight as well, who is our subject matter expert on some of the installations of infrastructure that we are trying to implement down there for these safety protocols. With that, Carl, if you have anything else to add, I would invite you up here, and then Sam after that. Thank you.
Thanks, Ms. So, we've been out at Prairie Creek last couple of days, looking at what we have as far as safety. We've had a lot of calls, a lot of incidents have happened with traffic in the campground, and then our staff is trying to keep the bathrooms clean and safe, and has run into some problems that she shouldn't have to encounter, verbal confrontations with individuals that's popping out to our campgrounds and using the facilities in different kind of ways other than what they should be. So we talked a little bit about what we could do. I met with Sam a couple weeks ago just to talk about a few things. And then I also spoke with our maintenance team in reference to cameras that we've had to remove from out there because we just need to make sure the board and the city was all on the same page with whatever security provider we choose to work with. The way I understand it, those cameras were put in place primarily to keep an eye out on the building itself, the maintenance shop, and then some of the things that could happen down at the boat launch. But we wanted to make sure that the board was on board, the city's on board, and then we have the right kind of information out there that can be reviewed. If we get a police call, we want to make sure we can have that opportunity to have that app that will provide safety for individuals going in and out of campgrounds under our north and south shore, arms, things of that nature. We got the fob would work once we got those up and going. So we probably can't make that decision tonight, but we wanted to make sure that it's being discussed, and it's definitely a need. And Misty and I have talked, and Sam and I have talked as well, in reference to what we might be able to propose to the board that would provide cameras for the safety and the welfare of everybody out at Prairie Creek. So, anybody got any questions? If not, Sam, you might want to come up and share a little something.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Are we doing anything to secure the doors of the bathrooms?
Yes, that's all in the plan, in the process.
Okay.
But we got to figure something out so that everybody's safe out there.
Good evening.
Hi.
So you brought up the bathroom doors. That was the very first thing that we're starting to address. The project we're beginning at the North Shore Campground bathroom is for one camera to watch that kind of awning and entry area, and then to get both of those doors, the women's and the men's restroom, both on basically a key card reader that all the campers, and over time we may have to add some of the boaters for their slips in that campground area to that system as well. Most of the difficulty is, not so much difficult, but training Misty and then Tawny how to use that system, how to add and delete people. Fortunately, since it's semi-permanent, the rotation isn't that heavy. Mostly just to get an accurate identity of each camper and boater, basically their phone number or site unit, their name, whoever's entering and using those bathrooms. So they're effectively locked 24/7. Without a key fob, you're not even able to enter those two bathrooms. We do this a lot for a lot of public bathrooms, not usually using key fobs in this context, but with the exact number and information, knowing how many people we need on that system, it's going to make it a lot easier to keep that organized and have kind of a receipt list of who goes in and out at what times. A mixture of like vandalism from trespassing or vandalism from, if I'm correct, some people in the actual park. It'll let us get an accurate description of who's entering the bathroom, just visually, and then see what key fob they use to get in and out of the bathroom so that you have a very accurate just description of what site and who's using that key fob. Even if they share key fobs or pass them to somebody, you still then have a source of who shared that key fob to said person. So that's kind of stage one of the bathroom project at the North Shore Campground. Just those two doors and a camera there to start. Any questions on that portion?
One question I had, will there be floodlighting or lighting outside also
I believe there's
as a deterrent?
Good question. I think there's two lights there. I'm not sure if they're on 24/7 right now. The camera we have has like a slight infrared, so even if it's pitch dark, you still get a good accurate description when you're that close to it. But that's a good question. I'm not sure if those lights are on 24/7. One question Misty brought up to me today was if you had like pushback from the boaters or whoever would need added to it. Long-term, once this immediate issue is curtailed, we could always put it on a weekend schedule. So to say a lot of boaters visit on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we can effectively leave it open from 8 to 8 p.m. so that not the public, but anyone on those boat slips can still access it. That way, if they have family that don't want to carry a key fob or hand a key fob back and forth on the boat slips like that, we could put it on a weekend schedule long-term once the winter's over. So you have flexibility with those actual schedules of when it opens and closes at the end of the day too.
So they have to have the physical fob?
That's
To
how
get
we'll
in.
begin.
Okay.
It'll have a lot of flexibility over time. The key fobs have the ability to basically pick and choose who can use the bathroom. Of course, staff members and maintenance will get those key fobs too when they need to use it. But you're exactly right. Without those key fobs, even though we want it locked 24/7, if we want to get creative next year and this isn't an issue over the weekend, we can always customize that open-close schedule pretty easily. And
How
then-
many, have we decided how many fobs each
Good question.
owner will have?
We like to start with one, because oftentimes a family may share it, or they may visit the bathroom at the same time. Technically, one fob could open both doors if, let's say, a couple or a family was trying to go to both bathrooms at the same time. If we need to add extra key fobs over time, they're not very expensive. We've started with 300, which should be plenty for the campground now and the additional boat slips if they want to add them.
What is the cost of something like this?
For the whole project, the entirety of it was approved at $14,000 for both. And that's the entire the kit and caboodle for the install and all the hardware, which is the most expensive part. Basically, I always say brains of the operation, the server, and the actual enclosure in the, basically in the utility room, all the hardware and wiring and servers to make that easy to use on the staff's computers. So a lot of that is just tying that back over, the ability for anybody who needs and wants access to that system to be able to access it from their computer at the staff office too.
So that's the initial install. What are we seeing as a recurring cost? Assume we've got subscription fees and some internet access out there as well.
I have it on paper. I can forward it to you over if needed.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay. And Misty, go ahead.
And then access to this, will it be easy to, transfer that or make it accessible? Is it in the cloud for indefinite, the data, the video?
Oh, correct.
Okay.
All of it, with most of the parks we do, all of it's on one. The video will be all on one system, and this will slowly tie in together as we go. If we add more cameras to more Prairie Creek,
Okay.
that'll all be accessible from the staff computer or the parks if they want to access that as well. And same for the key fob receipt information. That will be accessible from any admin or manager we want to add. Even if they're like here in this building or at the Parks Department, any admins we want to add to that system can view it and basically read it and delete or add people over time, yeah.
And then this might be a question for Misty or Carl, actually. Have we thought about how, if somebody wanted to get a hold of that video for themselves, like a leaser, would we make them file a police report first? Or I think we should have that kind of policy established earlier rather than when, a situation arises.
Like who has access to pull or view and save the footage, basically?
Yeah, like a lot of homeowner associations that have cameras at their entrances, one of those policies is that you have to have a police report when you request that
Be able to view
footage.
it?
Yeah,
For sure.
so I'm just wondering,
What the policy would be.
something for us
I
to
just-
consider?
I'd assume the video wouldn't be accessible to the public. That's certainly something we'd have to review with the legal team, how to structure that
Correct.
detailedly.
And we usually assist with
And
that
then we
process.
also have weekend campers, and if people rent the community building right there,
Yeah, I think more of my questions are not around the system itself. It's probably Carl and Misty, combination of how we're gonna manage this. I assume we're gonna need fees for lost fobs, how many we're giving the campsites, the weekend sites, and some of those details that we need to work through still.
And we always help with the logistical planning. However, however you like to divide the cars, we like to assist with that process. So I've been working with Misty. We did a welcome call today so she could meet with our team, both install and like the implementations team who help service, and train is always the funny word, but train Misty and eventually Tawny on how to use it. We like to joke we're basically one of your employees now. So I've been working with Misty for the last 2 weeks getting this all organized.
That's good.
She's been awesome.
Question about the cameras, are they protected so they can't be vandalized?
Correct. It is basically a vandal-proof dome.
Okay.
And that sounds redundant, but yes, it is a very almost uncrushable hard plastic, and even spray paint. I always use that as an example. Very easy to clean spray paint off of. We've run into that before, but yes, a vandal-proof dome is the word for it, yeah.
When the lock mechanism is tampered with or defeated, will that be a notification, or is that something we're gonna have to monitor or report back from a user to get feedback that that's been defeated?
It usually gives you the simple way to describe it is like a door ajar notification. If it
Okay.
is vandalized and broken open, it gives you a reading, kind of like a garage door. Nobody pressed the button, so now it's basically reading that it's open, and that's basically an alarm system almost.
Okay.
If it's vandalized and broken open, you'll get a door ajar notification whenever that happens.
So if it's propped open or left open for
Propped
some
open is the word
duration,
for it, too.
we're gonna get a notice that it's not been closed
Yeah.
in. that
And we can
duration.
change that timer as well.
Okay.
A lot of our parks like to be at like 5 minutes because maintenance may prop that door open to clean, sometimes even 8 or 10. But usually we can tweak and play with that door ajar timing notification too.
Okay.
And Misty, only if there's more questions on that? I was going to segue into Misty bringing up the maintenance building today to me as well, that there was some previous cameras removed from there that they might like to revisit later on. That's when I'm going to be meeting with Misty on Friday to take a quick walk through of that maintenance building and see what's possible there too.
Yeah, I think the other one that we'd would have some interest in is the ramp area as well, which is in close proximity to the
Correct.
maintenance shop. So obviously, the maintenance shop is our
Mhm.
tools and equipment and protecting our asset that we have there. And then we know I think this year we've been pretty good shape. Historically, there has been some issues at the dock
Okay.
or at the ramp as well, just tracking who's coming and going and monitoring there as well.
That's a good point. She informed me that the internet is currently at the actual boat ramp desk, and I'll help Misty with the technical issues of it. Where to put the internet and to bounce it back and forth between those buildings, that's the
Correct.
whole thing we can dissect, yeah.
Yep.
Do we have an install date?
Right now, it's mid-September when parts arrive to us.
Okay.
And I assume this is probably getting paid out of the park security line at the Prairie Creek. Looks like we're probably gonna have to shuffle some monies around there. That line is pretty tight already this year.
My question is more for Carl, or where's the money gonna come from if we think about something like that, since we're already talking budget problems?
Yeah. So I spent some time this last month working with Craig on some of the items on our budget. I know Carl's been working with Craig and the team there. I don't know if the 26 budget is finalized or sent to council yet, but they're working through that process. I don't have an answer. I don't know where the recurring costs are gonna come from or what they are offhand here.
I can have those emailed to you later
Yep.
today, yeah.
Carl, I guess you got any thoughts, or Misty, I know.
So I did meet with Craig, and we talked about increases throughout our park system, and that we really got to take a hard look at the improvements that we're asking to do, things that we've done in the parks that is different, that's not in our budget, such as TUIs, such as park security. You know, you're going to pay for it one way or another. And so, in talking to Craig, I spoke with him. I said, Nikki and I would look and see what we can do. We'll try to find some grants as well. And then we'll have conversation with the mayor as well. Because the main thing is having safety put in place, and there's a cost with that. And we're going to pay one way or another on the end. We just got to make sure it's in writing and get that to the park board on how we're going to go about getting that done. To answer your question about where's that money going to come from, I think everybody's got to put their heads together and get a plan together and make sure we got the support, from the council as well. But there's a lot of growth. There's a lot of things happening in our park system, and I think our budget falls a little bit below those needs. Anytime you grow and try to have added pieces, there's a budget that's always there's a dollar amount to it. So that was my conversation with Craig. And then I was going to follow up with the board as well, and then also speak with the council and the mayor and figure out how we can make it happen.
Thank you, Carl.
So, all right, thanks.
I think, kind of as a general reminder there, the parks in the city are all funded through the general city budget, through tax funding. And the Prairie Creek is independently funded through its revenues. So at this time, and for the recent history, there's not been tax dollars come out to Prairie Creek. I've not heard any plan for that to change. So Prairie Creek, this board is the fiscal body and has to figure out how to manage that portion of the Prairie Creek.
Sam, yeah, do you see grants for security
We
out
do.
there?
Coincidentally, our camera provider helps with them. The size varies wildly, and the length of time varies, of course. But I can share their info later on if you're interested in that, because they do some large to medium-sized grants.
Could you send that information to
I can do
Brad?
that. They would love to help, yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Thanks for asking.
Any other questions for him from the board?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Misty, I know we've had you up here 3 times. Anything else on your list? Thank you. Next on the agenda, we do have the Friends of Prairie Creek. I see their president out there today. Glad you could be with us today. I know you've had some challenges and glad you're here.
Barely made it today. And if I break down crying, please just bear with me. I almost didn't make it. I had a close friend die this morning, so
Oh, wow.
it's not been a good day.
I think you've already hit your 3. You're done now.
I'm hoping. I am just hoping. I can't take no more. But I'm turning more. I took over for Jackie. Let's see, you're back here. I praise Jackie. She is like, I don't know how she's did it for so long, because just when you're dealing with camping and family and everything, like health issues or death, it's just hard to deal with all of this, and it's been a whirlwind. So I finally got to have a meeting, Misty and Junior, and I was trying to get security, but we had an issue going on at the campground, so security couldn't be at the meeting either that day. But we went over Labor Day. I was just kind of waiting till we found out about the concert on Labor Day weekend before I posted that on the page and the times to get all the set times and stuff. But we decided on the Halloween bash for the 18th. So I don't know, do I need to get approval this time or next meeting for the Halloween bash on the 18th there at the campground? We're kind of doing it simple. We kind of decided just decorate the campsites, hand out candy to all the campsite kids, do the hayride, and I talked to Misty and the security. We may have use the community building that night, open it up, and have a Halloween dance from 8 to 10, just kid-friendly, age-appropriate music for the kids. Maybe put some cornhole games outside to the side for them to play, and have some punch and snacks and stuff brought in for them, and have just a little Halloween bash dance. And next meeting, we'll probably tweak out everything that we want to do that night too. So just kind of a simple night of trick-or-treating, Halloween dance, hayride, maybe a Halloween contest, costume and best decorated campsite.
Oh, yeah. You should probably fill out a form in the office.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think
That's-
we've done that both ways in the
Yeah.
past, for the Halloween bash and the Easter event. It's, some years it's
Yeah.
been more independent, that it's been the Friends of Prairie Creek, and I know other years the Prairie Creek office has partnered with it, and then it becomes,
Yeah,
a Prairie
before
Creek
Tawny
event.
went off, me and her was in talks about what all we wanted to do on the Halloween, and then she had the baby, so.
yeah,
I was kind of waiting, and so we just kind of went ahead and decided set the date, and then if Tawny comes back soon, we can start deciding. That's why we didn't want to make decisions on everything we wanted to do that night.
Yep.
And unfortunately, I drove off and forgot it again, but we kind of want to kick off Let's Go Fishing. We have a little blue stuffed fish. It's the little fish of many colors. We was wanting to hide around the campground for the kids to find again. Possibility of doing that with a little camper that we have for the adults to find for prizes too. Red, before the meeting, she was just kind of asking for people to be more respectful in the bathrooms and kind of clean up and supervise their children when they're in there too. Trying to think what else. I went around the campground. It was not a lot of people out there. I mean, there was a few, but I handed out index cards to people that I seen outside, asked them to fill out their questions or their thoughts that they would like, if they want me to bring it to here and say, and at the meeting too, we kind of thought, let's just write out everything and figure out things. So some of the things we got on the card, or the cards, was they would be interested in seeing like maybe a chili night for all the campers to get together, maybe like at the end of the year. Not talking this year, but like in the future, this is stuff that the campers would like to see happen. One was possible speed bumps put on the outside road all the way around the camper, because recently there's been a couple of hot rods that likes to get at the very back and treat that back circle and all the way out to the front as a racetrack every once in a while. I don't know how sufficient that would be to stop it, or if it would be more of an inconvenience, but it would kind of probably slow somebody down if there was a few on that outside circle.
That's a good idea.
There was one person that went down there, it was about a month ago. I mean, they were probably going about 80 miles per hour. I mean, it was ridiculous, and they were out of the campground before you could even call or get anybody to stop them or figure out who it was. So,
Was that one person that had suggested speed bumps, or?
they're kind of on the outside of the camp, so they kind of see
Yeah.
how the traffic flows, and it's kind of getting annoying.
I wonder if we could survey many people and see if
And
that's something they
we
would
could look
want.
into the future, like ask more people, or maybe just send a survey to everybody, see if they think that would be. And then people was writing a lot of questions, wanting to know if the winter storage is happening, because I think that's a lot of concern with all the campground, worrying about if we're gonna have to move out at the end of the year because there's no winter storage.
We're discussing that here in new
Yes,
business.
yeah,
Okay.
we've got some other items, and that'll be talked about here some.
I mean, there's a
Video on Prairie Creek and Sensor.
Yeah.
Of that, what she's talking about, I believe.
The speeding,
Yes.
did that get reported to the police, or we turned that in anywhere?
I don't know.
Yeah, but it wasn't there, Shirley, remember there was a video?
Was it a black
Yeah.
Challenger? It's like a black Challenger. It's done it a couple times. I know they're not in the campground and they don't camp there.
Okay,
You look under, Prairie Creek and Sensor.
it's on there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's.
So, but, I mean, it's kind of useless too in a way, because by the time you do call the cops, they're already out on the road and they are long gone. So,
That's a perfect example though.
Yeah. Yep.
And shows that there's a problem. And
Yep,
but it's solvent.
Charlene's got the floor, sorry.
oh, I'm sorry.
Yep.
And people's wanting to know, and you're probably going to talk about that here in a minute too, about the campsites. How many is the campsites going to be reduced?
Yeah, so we've got several items on our agenda regarding.
So maybe some of this stuff you will touch base with
Yep.
here in a minute. I did have a teenager, or a couple of the teens that's out there that had came in there and sat at the meeting too. They were wanting to know if the campground will ever have Wi-Fi, and now listening to him putting in internet, maybe a possibility, maybe there might be Wi-Fi. Internet's not the greatest out there. It's camping, and I don't know why Wi-Fi is that important, but teenagers. But I told everybody that if they wrote a question, I'm going to bring it here and present it to you guys so they know that I did. They would love to see a volleyball net at the playground area because the kids, they keep buying volleyball sets and they keep getting broke, but they love to play volleyball on the weekends. Possible splash pad in the future. Some parents had wrote down that they would love to see the playground equipment be updated and possibly more playground equipment that's more toddler friendly. Even possibly a sandbox even for the toddlers to play with, and maybe more play equipment. And also, a lot of the teenage boys would love to see another basketball court or a bigger court made. Another camper had brought up the fact that maybe we could start a volunteer list, if not adults, some teens, to be able to help out throughout the year and have like maybe a list of volunteers that would like to help on like busy weekends to go around and help make sure the park is clean and the roads don't have trash laying in them and stuff. I kind of think that's kind of a good idea because I was talking about starting maybe a kids group because we had a couple of campers that had some neat ideas. We had one bring up, he does a lot of magnet fishing and RC car, and he would be willing to show the kids how to do RC and magnet fishing. And then maybe have a fishing day for the kids, and if we can come up with enough fishing poles for them all, and if they have them and tackle boxes and stuff, have a fishing day. Just other little ideas to do with the campground kid group. And also one person said that they would love to see a no parking sign in middle of the community building and the bathroom, because a lot of people pull in there in between the bathroom and the community building and park, and you can't get through.
Is that a thoroughfare?
Huh?
Is that a main thoroughfare?
Yeah, there's a road that goes around.
Oh, that's a road.
So
There's
sometimes
two buildings.
people that's at the community building or at the bathroom, sometimes they'll park right there in between, and there's not enough room to
Yeah.
get through.
I've seen that.
Yeah. And I think that's, we were talking about, we'd also like to, you guys had talked about it, so I didn't bring it up, but another card that I had a suggestion of, we need cameras at the campground to just help with better security. And possibly like, is there any way, like, if there is something that is needed, if there's fundraiser projects that we could do or something to raise money to help with some of the projects. We even talked about like maybe a campground rummage where like the campers could do a campground rummage where we could invite the public by maybe using the South Shore. And if I was going to talk to Misty about that, because at the time when we were talking about it, it was such a great idea, but we had a interference in the meeting and we had to deal with security and stuff. But we were talking about like maybe on the South Shore. I know like at the solar eclipse, they like rented spots for people to come and watch the solar eclipse. But we were talking about if we did ever do a fundraiser, could we like get information about like if we did use like the South Shore or the beach area parking lot and rent out spots for people from the public that would want to bring rummage stuff or crafts, or a lot of people like to go to stuff like that and set up to sell and rent them spots out for like a fundraising event.
Craft fair or a flea market type setup.
Yeah.
Be an option.
Yeah, and maybe like even get with the Jeep group or the cars groups and see if they would like to join in on that day when we do all of that, and then it'd be like a one-stop event for everybody to kind of go around to.
Excellent.
Yeah, the financial issue from what I see is that, again, I come back to having a nonprofit attached to this. That would be the organization that the donations could then be given to.
Yeah,
We can't necessarily give the money to the front office because
yeah,
it's like, what do you do with that? Where does it go? We don't have a way to process that. So I
that's
think,
what we were kind of wondering, that's what I was like, well, we'll take it to the meeting and ask about it, because we didn't know if there's like something like, if we wanted to say, like, said, we're doing a fundraiser for new playground equipment or something. We just didn't know if that's some kind of,
I think to jumpstart some of these excellent ideas is to really formalize a 501c3. And so I'm just going to put this out there. I'm not trying to jump, but I'm more than willing to write the application to the state and help organize a group
okay,
and formalize a board and then kind of hand it off, because we're getting ready to do our 5-year master plan. I got a lot on,
Yeah.
we have a lot on our plate on this board. But I know there's some folks from Prairie Creek that were interested, but we want to make it friends of
Yeah.
Muncie Parks and Recreation. So if there's anybody in this room that wants to be a part of that, I'd love it. Everybody from the skate park, from Tui Pool to Prairie Creek, and from all of our inner city youth programs, and anybody that really cares about our parks, I'd love to tonight to contact me after this meeting, and we'll get that started. Okay?
that'd be awesome. And that's about it.
Anything else?
Okay. Thank you, Charlene.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Charlene? Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't mean to divert. but-
Next, we will head into old business. The item we've got on there is Prairie Creek rate reviews, both the campsites and docks. So as we've talked about, last meeting, we had some discussion regarding what's coming from the water company and the continued negotiations that are going on there. Had some changes last month. We're still waiting for more responses and continued feedback from them. We've really got a big open item on what their future allowance is going to be at Prairie Creek. They've not provided a number with campsites that they're going to allow. They're not provided number of docks that they're going to allow. The original paperwork that was documented out there was for 50 sites. I think everybody in this room knows that we greatly exceed that today. I'm not saying that that's what the number is going to be, but we don't know. So with that, we've tried to be proactive. As I mentioned earlier, Prairie Creek is self-sustaining financially out there, and we know that if there's a reduction in docks and or campsites, it will strain our budget, and we will have to get creative on how we fund some of the activities and just the daily operation out there. So the board's got some information here. Some of this you guys have seen before. I've got a campground and a docks comparison of locals in the area. That's just an updated sheet with the 25 rates. The other sheet that I've got here is the electrical billing. So what this is I reached out to Craig at the controller's office. There was not an easy way to break out just the seasonal camping. I'd have to go back and look, but there were multiple meters that are out there at Prairie Creek. So these numbers quantify all of the electrical that's billed to Prairie Creek that shows up in the Prairie Creek budget. So this would not only include the seasonal campground, but it would include the boathouse, the maintenance shop, the beach, the office, all the campgrounds, all the lighting, anything electrical out there for Prairie Creek is included in this. And you can see that the winter average is about $3,500 a month. The summer average is over $11,000 a month. So,
It's more than that.
Well, that's
For electric?
May through October is the months that I
Averaging,
averaged there.
okay.
Yep. So May and June are a little lighter. In '24, our highest month was in August, and it exceeded $15,000 for the month for electrical.
Wow.
So
Why is November so high?
I would only be making guesses, but that does seem
That's
higher than I
extremely
would expect.
inflated, that's about $4,000 high.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that what was actually when the bill was paid or when the bill was issued?
No,
If the bill was paid in November, it's probably the October.
It could have been some carryover from October, I would
I'm
guess.
guessing that's
Yeah.
what it is.
I didn't get billing dates or any details. He just gave me the lump sum numbers. So that's, Nikki is probably correct. Some of that includes October, which would campers would have still been there during that period.
Mhm.
So with that, I know one of the things we talked about a little bit conceptually was having some form of an electrical surcharge. We're trying to encompass some of that into a rate adjustment for the sites. If you break that down, that's roughly $30 a month per site. For a 7-month period, it'd be $100 or $210. So what I had kind of marked up as a proposal as a talking point to start would be as if we looked at a $200 annual surcharge for electrical. And I think that's something, if we break it apart from the campsites itself, instead of increasing the campsite cost, that's something we can look at again later as we move through the years. If we get tighter and get better on electrical usage, that is something that we could adjust. If rates increase on electrical, that's something we can adjust and look at where it's independent from the site itself. Doesn't get us to a metering, but kind of follows that format that this is your campsite cost and this is your electrical cost. So the other thing that I've got noted here for a starting discussion point is we talked about last month, the launch is included in your dock rental. So what I kind of marked up here was actually a reduction in the dock cost, but then also have an individual rate for the launch fee. Yet again, if we've got changes in the future to the launch fee, that would be mirrored there. So that way you're not having to chase the two together. That would be independent from the dock rental itself.
Are there a lot of campers that don't have boats?
We've
Does
got,
anybody know?
what, 220-ish campsites, and I think we've got 600 docks. So those are round numbers, but
So all campers have boats?
I would have to look at the list, but there's,
Just-
yeah. So there are quite a few of the campsites that do have boats though,
Yeah, okay.
so. Like I said, this is just a starting discussion point, something that I personally put together, certainly not what I'm saying needs to be done, but kind of where I wanted to start this discussion. I wanted to start it now. Certainly don't think we'll be ready to vote on this tonight. We wanted to get it out there, have some discussions. I don't want to get to November, December again, like we have in the past, and then make the adjustment. So it'd be something that'd be great that we could talk about tonight, talk about maybe next month, maybe even vote next month or the following to have this established, what we're going to do in the 26th season.
Well, my question,
let-
yes, I'm sorry.
Jim,
Go
sorry
ahead,
there.
Jim.
Is there any way we can find out since there's 21 bills coming in, can we get with you to see what each bill goes to? Like to see the Raccoon Club, the Sailboat Club, make sure they're not,
That was one of the questions we had. I didn't know if you guys got billed independently. Okay.
and then possibly start charging at the beach again to start picking up. I mean, we don't give TUI for free.
Yep, that's another one that we need to talk about is the
Yeah.
beach fees as well. Mhm.
I mean, if it costs to run it, then
Yep.
It doesn't make like it's not a great resource of revenue. But my question is, what, by charging these fees, these adjustments, these surcharges, what do the residents get in return for that? I guess it's to cover, the purpose of this is to cover
Operating costs.
operating costs.
Yep. So we had an adjustment in '23
That have gone up, yeah.
that stopped the bleeding, I guess I would say, is we hadn't had adjustment for several years. We made the adjustment in '23. In the last 2 years, we've not had any adjustments. I think everybody acknowledges that costs have increased in the last 3 years. So I don't have anything to quantify that says that we're gonna put in 50 amp electric. That's not gonna happen
Yeah.
with these kind of cost increase.
Or even with the water company.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
just-
we
it's
don't
not-
know. But I think these put us in a place that we can continue the level of service that we provided without having to cut things. I mean, we just talked about a security. It's going to be an additional cost. I assume there's going to be a labor cost increase next year as well. I don't know that for sure. But our operational costs continue to increase, and our revenue generation has not increased the last 2 years.
So when is the water company gonna tell us what they, I mean,
I wish I knew.
it's like they're twisting their arm in limbo, so.
Yes.
Probably the most honest answer is anytime within the next year. I don't think it's gonna be quick. They do want input from the city. They want a joint committee to discuss it, so there will at least be an
Who
opportunity.
will be on that committee, though?
To be determined.
Because I know I've asked to be in the meetings, and I was not, so. I was told I could be, but
So far, I know the discussions have been between the legal team and the mayor and the water company.
They have committed to us that they would have a committee that would be made up of citizens. It's really, the ball's in their court, and they have indicated a commitment that they want broad participation as they look at this.
The other factor that I'm trying to consider and think about here is we do, per the request of the water company, we're not having the lottery next year. So we know that we're gonna see some loss of spots just through normal attrition. And that's gonna be another hit to the revenue line.
Yeah.
Without a reduction in expenses, really. There may be a minor reduction, some of the docks may not have to go in. But overall, there's not a significant reduction in the operation expenses if we lose a dozen or 30 campsites or docks, just through attrition.
I think we need to look at everybody incurring part of this, not just certain groups, so. Anybody that's involved out there, Sailboat Club, Raccoon Club. I mean, if there's any other
I agree.
revenues out
I
there,
agree.
everybody gets the same hit if somebody gets hit.
Yep.
Could we get copies of, Misty, maybe you could provide this, what the sailing, the different clubs out there pay for their annual fees? And like, do they pay their own electric? Just you? Yeah,
Yeah, so this,
so, yeah.
yeah, the Sailboat Club has got
It's
it.
your own property? Or no, it's the water,
It's the water
it's, yeah,
company
duh,
property.
okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Could you come up
Yeah.
to, would you mind coming up to the podium, and then we'll have someone, do we want to open it up, Brad, and for public communication?
Maybe once we get through all these.
Okay,
Maybe it just help I know there's been questions over the years. Maybe I can fill in a couple of blanks, at least kind of set the stage.
For those of that don't know who you are, I think
I'll-
everybody here
I'll
does.
introduce myself. Sure.
Yeah.
I'm Keith Addison. I'm the current Commodore of the Muncie Sailing Club. Sailing Club, not Sailboat Club. You know, I did the same thing and they corrected me all the time. It's the sailors. We have about maximum 51 docks. No more are going in. We currently have 42 docks that are paid for. You get the Prairie Creek fee for. We have 8 day sailors, which are sailboats that are up on our property. You know, a person puts it in, brings it back out, so they don't have a slip. But we also have 40 kayak stickers that we collect the $40 fee for. We are an agent for Prairie Creek, and we get the stickers, we administer the stickers, and that's the big number. You always see it in the budget is, you know, we return the stickers with the fees that have those that were assigned, and then the returned ones that weren't used. It's self-funded. We're probably the most environmental friendly thing on Prairie Creek. We can't go over 6 knots, so we don't create any wake. And, you know, once a sailboat motor's out about 1,000 feet, they turn their motor off, run all day, and don't use any electricity, don't pollute.
Okay.
We don't have any gas pumps.
How about the dock fees?
Yeah, the current setup, we pay $500 for a dock fee, a slip fee as we call it, which is discounted. I think yours is $625.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and, you know, we'd like that to just continue, considering the service level is kind of commensurate with that, because we don't call for any services. We take care of that ourselves. All the docks we purchase ourselves. If they have to be adjusted at 2 in the morning, we do that ourselves. Prairie Creek provides some essential services. 1 dumpster that we carry all our garbage to. The lawn mowing service, you know, they keep it nice and tidy. We do all the flowers and stuff like that. And then security. And that's probably, you know, sort of marginal at best. So at this point, we think, you know, it's fair that we should participate. And I think, like I said, it's actually $100 for these day sailors that sit up on our dock, maybe go in 5 times a year or something. You get $100 for that. And then kayaks are new to us. We didn't have kayaks 3 years ago. We got 40 kayaks that we launched from a kayak launch that's on a floating dock that we acquired also. So it's convenient because it's nice still water.
And how much do they pay?
$40. Well,
Oh, it's $40.
there's nothing. They pay a membership fee to the Muncie Sailing Club,
Okay.
but each kayak or windsurf board, you know, as defined in the rules, is $40, and they put the sticker on.
And how
Yeah,
many?
that's for the launch fee. That's the standard
Okay.
fee.
That's the standard fee. So we just collect it and pass it on. We don't upcharge it. We actually take, because we let members play with a credit card, we actually pay for that because we have to pay the credit card fees just to process it, just a minor detail. We like to be good neighbors. I think the Prairie Creek office would certainly agree in, you know, how many times we've helped in different ways, bailing out boaters or whatever. I mean, just recently they put on a safety course at the Prairie Creek office. We had the majority of the participants there. So
And you have your own bathrooms?
we have our own bathrooms and a well. So we don't use any water and
And
the septic
electricity?
system. Pardon?
The electricity you pay for as well?
Yep, we have electric bill. I was just looking at it. It's about
Right.
$150 a month. So, you
And where do people park?
know, on our space, there's a
In your
parking
own
lot.
parking lot?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know if you've been through there, but,
I've seen your space. I haven't been up there.
okay. Yeah, just drive in on the weekend. There'll be some people you can park at the top or some park off the side of the road halfway down. But everybody parks there. We don't have any space outside that we park on or need to park on.
And how many members total do you have, did you say?
We actually have 68 now.
Okay.
And a member could be a couple. It's usually, like, call it a family. So, all of our buildings, like, you see the clubhouse, that's the one that's visible from the road, are available to the members free. So we get no revenue from renting the facility, we get no revenue. If you wanted to come out and have a family party there and you're a member, that's fine. We kind of go through an approval process where we don't want 100 people,
Right.
on the property.
then-
But that's all free. Some people think, we must be making a lot of money from all that, but it's not true. Everybody owns their own boats. They have to be registered to a member. You can't sublease
Okay.
a slip.
So,
Consistent.
yeah, you guys still fall under all the rules.
Well, part of when they sign up is they say we follow all the Prairie Creek rules.
Yep.
And then we have our own rules, many of which are redundant or stronger.
Do you remember the last time we raised rates?
We just had
On
the
the same
contracts
This was the last one, was 3 years?
2 or 3 years. It was the same time we adjusted rates at the docks too.
Yeah.
So, the note I've got here on the budget is that the sail club fee is $20,000 annual.
Yeah, it'll be a little bigger than I anticipate. Next year, we've had four members that are members that didn't put their boats in. If they didn't put their boat in, they didn't pay the fee. So there's, 2,000 that didn't get passed along.
Right.
But, they didn't have anything in the water either. So,
So the sail club not only has an agreement with us, which is that annual fee structure, they also have an amendment to the lease directly with the water company. So their club participation and their usage of that
yeah, I'd
building
like
and
to meet
site
the water company guy for the same reason.
Is-
How does that all fit together? But
is directly approved by the water company.
I mean, at least I'm happy I can give you some of the background, because I have heard people have a really big misunderstanding. Boy, we must be racking all that dough, and it's really not. The approximately 20,000 that comes in goes back. So we're just your agents and eat a collection fee.
You guys aren't structured as a 501c3, are you? You're a social club?
Yes, social club. That's correct. So, we can't raise any money or at this point. We might. We're looking into, other ways because we're stuck
Yep.
in the same fashion.
What
We
is
have
that?
a flagpole that was unsafe, took it down. We had to kind of rob from one fund to pay for a new flagpole, but it looks tremendous.
What is
So,
that tax designation code? Do you know?
Not right on.
Okay.
Yep.
Maybe.
So anyway.
Any other questions for Keith?
So we would appreciate, if it just stayed where it is, because all the kayak fees were things that we did not have last agreement. $40 times, whatever that was, 40, it's another $1,600. And I anticipate that to grow because we had no idea how many people were actually interested in that. And then again, we self-launch so we don't we don't interrupt any of the people that have to be at the boat launch, we're the complaint department for our 68 members. And we appreciate everything Prairie Creek office has done. They're very, we just have a good relationship with them. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Keith. Jim?
Question, so if there's gonna be a required boat reduction, would the percentage of whatever they take off the pontoons come off the sail club too?
I would think it should. So, probably depends where that number ends up, but yeah, I would think it should correlate. I'd have to also look at their lease with the water company to see if it has any specifications regarding the numbers.
Well, if it's anything like ours, then it's,
Now, theirs is more recent
Very
than
good.
the lease is, so there is some additional provisions in there, but I don't remember if there was a boat quantity associated with that. I'd have to review that.
I think one of the things the water company will look at is environmental impact also. They have not said what that means yet. But I think that when it's wind power and electric, they may look at that differently than multiple horsepower with petroleum-based wake issues, all those things. There are a lot of things on the table that we don't know about yet, so.
so when we say there's 600 piers, is that, there's really 668 piers or whatever they have? Or is that,
I'd have to go back and look. I don't know if those are in our numbering system or if they're independent. I don't know if you know, Miss. Yeah. Yeah.
and then something to consider that there might be 600 piers out there, but at any given time, there's not near that many boats on the water. I mean, a couple weeks ago, I went out there and it's us and 10 boats?
A lot of them parked, yep,
So,
That's true.
or vacant, but paid for.
so there's not 600 active boats I mean, we have a Labor Day and 4th of July are the only times that lake really gets full.
Full.
What is our deficit, our projected deficit? I mean, you don't have to give me an exact number, but I know you had shown it to me for Prairie Creek, I don't know, maybe last month, but was it in tens of thousands, hundreds of
I think Craig has
thousands?
been able to work the numbers and that the overall budget isn't in a deficit based on numbers for this year.
Okay,
Now, we know we're gonna have attrition that's not gonna be filled. That's an unknown. You can kind of forecast based on what we've had historically. But that's really an unknown number, what that's gonna be for next year.
okay. Could we make, this data that you've provided the board, available to friends of
Yeah,
Prairie Creek?
yeah, we can
and
share this.
the other-
I can share this out to, with Nikki and, Misty, and we get it posted both, at the office and our Prairie Creek page as well, and, get that out. I wanted to make sure the board saw it before I published it out to the masses, at least what I had put together. Like I said, just wanted to have some of the historical data that I presented before, updating that. The electrical information was new, and at least a starting discussion point for what rates might look like. But like I said, it's really a board decision there, but it's something me personally would like to get resolved sooner rather than later, because if there is an adjustment, people need to be able to plan for that, and I don't want to spring that on them in December or January, so.
Okay.
And I encourage the rest of the board to do your own research, provide options or ideas here as well. And I think this is one we'll have to have on the agenda for our next month meeting as well.
Okay,
So. Rolling into new business, I guess could have been new old business, is winter storage. Kind of falls under the same scope as we haven't heard the water company say yes, no, how many. At this point, I think we're still moving forward with offering winter storage like we have in the past. I've not heard of any major mechanical issues or major maintenance that needs to be done to vacate any spots. The one that I know Shannon and I talked about a little bit independently was, I don't know what our historical standard has been, is if there's any sites that we do not intend to renew for the following season, do we allow them to have winter storage for that winter? So if there's a violation or reason that we're not going to renew that site for 26, do we offer them storage for this winter? And I think that's something the board needs to discuss. I think my preference would be no. If you're not going to renew the lease anyway, they need to be out at the end of the current season. And I don't know what our historical policy has been either, for that matter.
And then by doing that, I think it gives leaseholders at least the tentative security of knowing that they'll have a lease for 2026. Because a lot of people, I mean, it's a lot of work to move a campsite. And so
Those campsites it is, yes.
yeah, so I think the earlier that we can let people know that they have winter storage secure, or let's just do the flip side. If they don't have winter storage secure, does that mean they're not going to have a lease offered to them for 2026? So I think it would give people some more confidence in this situation that we're in, that if we're offering them winter storage, that they're also going to get a lease under, the situation that we're in right now.
Well, there should be no environmental impact to a camper sitting empty on a lot, correct?
That would be my opinion,
Yeah, I would agree.
so. But at the same time, I don't want to give anybody false hope either. I mean, the water company could come in January and say, you're going to have 50 and figure it out. And that's, to me, that's probably worst case scenario. But that's a real possibility. I think that something could happen between now and March.
Well, I would say if that happens, we would address that situation at that time.
Yeah, yep.
Because, I think we're putting hardships on people that we don't need to be, and we're giving up revenue that we shouldn't be giving up if we don't have to.
The other caveat there is if we've got any that are not offered a renewal for 26 due to a violation or an infraction, and we offer them the 25 winter storage, if we run into any issues getting them out for the next, but I guess it doesn't matter for this year because we're not going to fill those spots anyway. So, kind of answered my own question there.
Yep. Yep.
Thoughts, discussion there?
Yeah. That was something that Brad and I discussed, is that we work with Misty to create a thorough list of violators, for different reasons that we don't want to offer winter storage to, and that basically lets them, in that same letter, we're saying that you will not be offered a lease for 2026 as well. And then on the flip side, the people that do receive that winter storage offer have more confidence knowing that they are getting a lease offer.
Do you have a timeline for when you want that list and or the notices sent out?
Well, according to the handbook, I don't know where it is in the rules. I think it's right around the corner.
September 15th.
Yeah, September 15th is when we have to offer them winter storage.
I just looked at that this morning.
Thank you. Do you know what page that's on?
No.
Okay. I know it's a fast turnaround. And it's an aggressive move on our part because we haven't historically we've been somewhat passive, on certain behaviors out there, but I think now is a good time for us to address those and kind of weed out, some of the problems we've had with security. There have been some environmental violations and stuff, as per the state health department. So those folks would be on that list as well.
So I guess to kind of summarize where we're at is, I think we, as a board, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, is we want to offer winter storage for this season, definitely for everybody that's going to receive a lease renewal for 26. And we are still discussing that if there's any campsites that are on a non-renewal for 26, how do we handle their 25 winter storage? So there's, I think there's two sides to that. There's the side that we let them have winter storage, knowing that they're not going to be renewed at 26, and that would allow us to have some revenue there. And then the other side would be to not let them have winter storage for 25, to go ahead and cut ties, knowing that they're not going to be there in 26 anyway. And I think that's a decision the board needs to give Misty guidance on.
Yeah.
I don't think we should burden that with her.
I
Well, I would say if somebody's not getting offered a lease and they're informed of that, and if they want to pay to store for the winter, then they have that option with a hard date to have it out.
Yeah, as long as they know, I just want them to be very clear that they're not
Which
getting
is
that offer.
The piece
That's
that
all.
we need to make sure that we work through.
So I don't want it to
There's
be a
any-
surprise.
Non-renewal statuses for 26, we need to get those notices out in good order. Probably by that same date would be great if we can have those. Obviously, if something comes up between then and the end of the season, we can adjust accordingly there.
I'm in agreement with that.
So I think that one, we probably need to take a vote on that. How we're going to structure that is we'll do a voice vote, and I think we'll say either offer 25 to non-renewals or not offer to 26 renewals. Or, storage for non-renewals. Does that make everybody understand that?
No.
No,
So non-renewals for 26, we will either, so non-renewals, that mean they don't have a site in 26, we will offer winter storage, or we will not offer winter storage.
Okay.
and when will they be notified of that?
In the same letter?
Yeah,
What's that?
In the same letter,
the September 15th
15th letter.
is when winter storage letters should go out. So the non-renewals are based on the rules that are in place, any of the violations that we've reviewed, and that'd be reviewed as a staff and probably not come before the board because some of those are individual circumstances unless there is one that they've got a question or clarification on, but it'll all revert back to the rules as adopted. Any other questions? So I guess to hit that again, it will offer 25 storage or will not offer 25
Okay.
storage, specifically to non-renewals in 26. Any questions?
Do you get it, Jim? So they will, A is we will offer storage in 2025 with
To
the.
everyone.
I think we're all on the same
Yeah.
board. Anybody with a renewal in 26 will have winter storage as an option.
Okay.
Yeah,
So we're only talking about any campers that are in a non-renewal status,
that we're not renewing.
not renewing in 26.
We'll still offer them storage, but the stipulation on their letter will say, but we are not offering you a 2026 lease.
Correct.
I take a shot at a motion that at least we can see if it works. May we have a motion to offer winter storage to those deemed eligible for renewal in 2026, subject to the continuing authorization of the water company?
Yeah. And I think that covers,
Kind of covers everything.
yep,
It does mean if we do that if they're deemed non-renewable,
Yeah.
they have to leave. They can't do winter storage.
Okay.
And that may be where we need further discussion. Because I do hate to lose the revenue and I hate to force someone to go quickly.
right,
But if they're deemed not eligible for renewal, they've done some pretty serious violations.
potentially, yep.
But if they're offered the storage and they're not, and they're trying to locate another place, they would only have to move one time.
It's true.
It's kind of,
We kick the can down the road for getting them out. We may have to evict, we've had to do that before, but that may be okay.
Maybe we structure it, the motion a different way. We say 25 winter storage is available to all current campers. And see where that vote goes. So that would mean anybody that has a camper out there now will have option for winter storage in 25.
that's what I agree to. I mean, that's what
You want a motion?
I would like to see. Yeah, I'll make that motion.
I'll second the motion.
We'll do a voice on that, Nikki. Or roll call, sorry.
James Letton,
Yep.
Mark Irvin,
Yes.
Shannon Powers,
Yes,
Brad Marshall.
Yes. Long road, but we got there. The other new business regarding Prairie Creek is the bathroom and north campground upgrade update. Is that the security?
That's the
Okay, so we
security.
talked about that already. The other one that didn't make it on the agenda that we received late today is the additional document you guys have got that says draft on it real big. So this was put together by,
Flatland?
yes, yeah, thank you. And what this is initial draft for a long-term maintenance plan and management of the multi-use trails. So this is draft, first version. I know none of you have seen it. It came in late today. But it talks about how we're gonna maintain that. I know there's kind of been some historical back and forth that Prairie Creek staff has helped, the bike club has helped, some individuals, independent have helped, but this really sets up a path to maintain that long-term. So I think this is something that just want to get in front of everybody and review as we move forward. So this will probably be an overarching plan, and then there will probably be MOUs within this with individual organizations. So some of them that are called out on here is the Mid-Indiana Trails, which is the bike club, Indiana Water, Redlands Conservancy. Got a long list of local foundations, so I know there's some interest in building some grants to extend and improve those multi-use trails, and then also individual businesses, and along with the city as well. So, I guess any questions on that? I know, like I said, it was kind of late notice there.
Do we know when that new adjoining trail is going to be installed?
I have not seen any formal approval from
Okay.
the water company on any
But
expansions
yeah, I
at this
haven't.
time.
Okay,
So I know
Okay.
the grant was submitted, the grant dollars have been
There,
awarded, so the project from that side is approved to go. But
Yeah.
based on our conversations
Okay.
and the current status, I would not feel comfortable as a board approving that until we have clear written
Yeah.
approval from the water company.
Are any of these trails in jeopardy from the water company?
Don't know. I mean, the whole thing is potentially, right, it's their land and they can do with as they please. So, anything is a possibility.
I'm sure that Flatland is talking to the water company.
I don't believe
You don't
they've
think
got any
this draft-
response.
Okay,
Because they do, the trail is, I believe, approved for them to construct. So they have a financial invested interest in getting that approved. And the conversations I've had with them, they've not been able to get the approval either. So they should be motivated to want to push it through, and they've not done that either.
okay.
What's the timeline on this grant?
Yeah, that's,
I don't know offhand.
was it state dollars? Do you know? I can't remember.
I think it is state dollars,
I believe so.
I think.
DNR? DNR
I don't
money?
know. I don't want to be
Okay.
guessing.
All right,
Okay.
okay.
Any other board new business regarding Prairie Creek? And then I think I am going to open it to public
Sounds
comment
good.
regarding Prairie Creek for a little bit.
Yep.
Any other board discussion? We'll go ahead and open the floor for public comment regarding, let's try to stay on topic of the Prairie Creek items we discussed. We will still have public input regarding other park items at the end of the meeting. Any brave souls?
Come on up.
No, this will be just related to these items that we've discussed on Prairie Creek. So the list would be any park business, which I suspect most of the list are probably Prairie Creek, but I don't know that for sure.
Mike Foster, Eaton, Indiana. I still want to address the big elephant in the room. We've talked about a lot of things, rate increases and environmental issues and who's paying what, but we still got a holding tank out there that is a huge, and though I appreciate Carl's and the staff's work on the $16,000 for the security at the bathroom, we still haven't looked at the elephant. We never addressed that at all the board meetings I've ever been at, other than it's been an issue for years through many administrations. And that is the one single ticket item that's going to get everybody kicked out. It's environmental.
So that piece is being handled with the city engineer
Right.
and the sanitary district. So we've been aware of some of their proposals, but haven't been deeply engaged in that.
Right.
One of the big concerns that they have kind of goes back to, how do you design a system if you don't know how many sites you have?
Exactly.
And that's the
Design it on-
crossroad that they're at currently.
I mean, if they prepare it on a 200 campsite and only ends up being 100, it's over-engineered, wonderful. If they,
More expensive.
yeah, it might be more expensive, you know. I mean, I'm actually a heavy equipment operator, so the overall cost to get everything there
Yeah.
and labor, its cost is going to be in the
I
material.
mean, twice as big is not twice as expensive,
Yeah,
right? But
exactly.
Any smaller. So my understanding is they have looked at a design for both
That's
the
great.
current state and the originally approved state are the two designs that they have or are working on currently, is my understanding.
That's great. That's a good sign, because that's really bothers me as we look at $16,000 here, and, you know, we spent all this money on 3 gates for security. That, one, are non-functioning. There's no pods that were ever handed out to anybody the whole year. So we effectively spent, I'm just gonna go out there and say $150,000, maybe $50,000 per gate. That's standing out there in the air. And that's just bad money spent. I mean, and I hope as a board that, and it sounds like, you know, you guys are trying to chop this up, trying to get better. And I think with Indian American Water, I think you guys are going to get the better deal. I appreciate the comment Mr. Marshall said about we need to look at the rates of the campers and slips. And I'm a camper and a slip, and I know our rates, but I'm going to go back and say there's a whole lot of other ratepayers out there that wasn't mentioned in that statement. They said campers and slips. We got hunting club. We got people that drive in and out of that dock. You know, they talked about a proposal, maybe have it speculative. I'm just saying what I hear, where they're going to charge us to go, make us pay an annual launch fee because we're a dock holder. I'm not saying that isn't a bad thing, but why isn't it for, you know, there's state park permits for some. If you're going to put a boat out on the reservoir, what's the cost of it currently? I mean,
$150.
no, if I go out there right now and say I want to put my boat out today.
$15 a day, or $100, $150 for
Like
the annual.
$25 a day for the whole area. That's a great thing, by the way, that they put out there on Labor Day. I think it's the Dyer, is that what it is? Great thing. $25.
Yep.
I mean, let's look at rates, because like you guys said, you got a budget. I've handled budgets. I spent 15 years on town council, so I know what budgets are, but I don't see how you guys can look at any rates without knowing where the finish line's at. I mean, until you guys get saying, hey, it's 50, hey, it's 100, hey, it's 150, or we're going to do it through attrition, or whatever, then I think the board can say, our budget's $900,000. We need so much out of this person, that person. But I think anytime you start looking at rates, you usually start at the bottom and work your way up. You're starting at the two highest rate payers out there. And I'm not saying that I'm not against it. I know our rates are cheap. And I've told everybody at the camper, I'm an advocate of, we have one thing that MoDOC doesn't have, that Paradise Point doesn't have. We have a beautiful reservoir. We don't have a pond, but I think when you throw that first cast out there and you keep saying rate campers and slip, it's hard. And I hope what you shared with us, Mark, that because Indian American Water sat in the meeting, said there'll be seats at the table on this, because I know the group that I hang out with, and I know the groups outside the campground that I don't stay with. Everybody wants to stay out there, and I think they understand, but when they feel like they're being singled out, I think Mr. Lett was kind of alluding to that as he pieced out rates and stuff, that we just want everybody to be. But I want to conclude with this. Would the board be interested in the 501(c)(3)? I actually run a 501(c)(3). And would they be interested if the campers created that for not only fundraising, so that we can go back to you guys and Indian American Water and get the same deal that Sailboat has, where we can pay you a fee and we can manage that. Now, according to him, that's probably a struggle. I mean, 49 members and them having to do all this stuff. But if you want to get some of that burden off of the board and off the park, it stands alone by itself. You know, it is part of the park, but it's not funded by tax. Because if it would be an option, I would work aggressively towards with the group of people at the campus, say, hey, we've got a 501(c) now. We want to sign a contract with you guys. We'll give you X amount of money for the campground. We'll pay for our own electricity, similar to the Sailboat, even though they're not a 501(c), but they're an entity. And then we could write a contract as well. And the reason why I'm asking that today is because of what you said, Mark, is at some point in time, we're going to be at the table with, hopefully, some of us will, where we sit down with Indian American Water, because I'd like to pitch the same thing to them. Let us manage it like you guys do the Sailboat. You won't have security problems, because we will put those gates down, just like they do. I mean, that's security for them. You know, we would do that. We would almost kind of dovetail our plan, because that's a great system they have down there. That's one of the best ways to run your park systems, having stewards like those guys.
I think anything's on the table at this point.
Yeah.
And really it just comes, the biggest piece is what is the water company going to allow long-term?
Tough thing for you guys.
I mean, but just in theory, I think that's a good idea, but, you know, you've got to talk about what the city covers. We cover, or not the city, what Prairie Creek covers
Right.
in its budget. There's all the labor, you know, entailed with, your office? Who's gonna do all of that? Who's gonna run your office? Your,
Same way they do with the camper.
who's, I don't know. I just,
I
you
see
gotta
what you're
talk
saying.
about insurance,
Mhm.
utility fees, like, then you're paying somebody, so,
Absolutely.
yeah.
I think the biggest thing, the reason why I'm pitching that, and you kind of dovetailed into exactly what I'm saying, is you really, sounds like a good idea, but you really don't want us to step off because the campers and the slip holders are the biggest part of the budget. And every time you guys talking about rates, and I spoke about it last year, is you start talking about rates, we talk about the campers and the slip holders, why we're still renting property off for $25. And the bleachers 15, one bleacher's getting ready to leave the property. I mean, that's crazy.
Again, in theory, I think it's great, but if there's a liability issue, your organization
Would have
has
to be
to have a multi-million-dollar, it's not, it's tens of millions of dollars for
Well, I run
the
EMT
number
Incorporated,
of,
And if you talk
So-
about a risky company with liability, that's transporting the public, so I'm aware of the risk.
so if somebody falls off of a dock, for example, they're going to sue your organization and not sue the city.
Well, let's sue
so-
the organization, the city.
And the
water
city,
company,
right.
and
So
everybody
that's what I'm
involved.
saying. It just, in theory, I
I've been
think
through
it's a
that
great
before.
idea.
You guys carry your own liability insurance, don't you, I assume? Yeah.
I mean, it's the same, be the same,
Yeah.
and I appreciate
It's
your
a
comment.
social,
But
yeah.
I'm not opposed to, I don't think we're
Yeah.
opposed to it. I think anything's on the
I
table.
mean, it'd be a heck of an umbrella, I mean,
Yeah.
get that, but I'm not saying that that's what we want to do, but if it's
Yeah.
gonna eliminate the park boards from year after year after year to start at the top of the chain of
Yeah.
contributions towards your budget and work your way down to the $25 rent,
Yeah.
I think we need to look at the rate structure.
Right.
Your, to let someone go out on that boat on Saturdays, $10.
We made the adjustment last year, so it went from 10 to 15
Right.
and 100 to 150.
And if you want to eliminate boats, because we talked about the environmental impact, maybe a suggestion would be is if you're going to dock out here at Prairie Creek, your only option to dock out here is buy a yearly permit, $150.
Yep.
That's how you get more of those boats off the lake. I mean, you start going after the people that are utilizing that wonderful facility out there, making them pay their part. I appreciate you guys' stuff.
Yeah.
Hey,
Thank you.
thank you, Mike. Anybody else? Come on up.
Mike, do you think I could speak to you after the meeting?
Hi, my name's Joanne Hammond. I had a couple things. Wanted to ask about that separate charge for the the launch fee and then the,
Yeah, so the launch fee, historically, if you rented a slip, you were provided with an annual launch fee. Where to the general public, to buy an annual launch fee, used to be 100, now it's 150. So you could look at that you're only paying your dock fee minus the 150, because that is included in your dock fee, is one way you could look at it.
so what if, like, say for instance, I mean, I just want to make sure you're not gonna, cause say, what if what if they don't launch their boat? Are they gonna not have to pay the launch fee then?
To get put in the water, it's gotta get launched, right?
Okay, a lot of people don't launch their boat though.
Somebody did, it got in the water somehow.
No, a lot of people rent the docks, and never launch their boats. There's lots of people out there that hasn't had their boats in the water in 20 years. I mean, literally.
So they don't have
With-
docks, or?
They have docks. They just pay for docks, and they never put their boats on them. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I hear what you're,
I just want to make sure you're not. I just want to make sure that you're still going to charge them their dock fees.
yeah, they would still be charged a dock fee for that.
Okay, I just
But
wanna
you'd
make
get,
sure you wasn't
you'd
gonna-
get your dock fee and your launch fee, so
It'll all be in the same
they'd be
bill.
separate but together, yeah.
Okay, in the same bill.
Yep.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Okay, that's what I wanted to make sure on that. And then what I wanted to, on behalf of the Prairie Creek Reservoir Uncensored, I wanted to donate this to Prairie Creek to try to help with the problem of the trash, see if it helps.
Okay.
They're at the surf, the surf club
Yep.
area.
The surf beach,
Yeah.
the windsurf beach.
Yeah, and what it is, I had the sign made, and it says, "Take a bag, leave a bag. Please do not litter." It's made out of metal, and then this is a bag. It's
Just a bag with bags in it, yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's one of those bags. It's my
Thank
bag
you.
that I.
Misty, I'll get with you afterwards here. Because, yeah, that'll probably go to her, and that's something I think we can
You guys could mount to something
utilize out there.
and fill it up with grocery bags. And I got 3 bags of grocery bags out there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So see if it works and helps with,
Similar to like a dog waste station.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know we moved away from the toters, and dumpsters have been received with mixed emotions. But I know we adopted the policy that we're a pack in, pack out, but anything we can do to help them and encourage that, I think is a positive as well.
Okay. Okay. So I just want to make sure, because also get back to the docks. So, because like my brother-in-law, he actually, hauls boats. So he's not going to be charged to haul the boats, right?
The launch fee is associated with the boat itself.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Yep. So,
Okay, thank you.
yep.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Prairie Creek discussion.
I'd just like to kind of discuss the usage of the lake as far as the boats go.
Certainly.
Most of the pontoon people motor out, throw an anchor out, get their tube out and float. They don't run up and down the lake all day long, creating wakes and using a bunch of fuel on the lake. So even if there's 600 pontoons on that lake, hardly any of that usage of that lake is on the pontoon people. Some of them tube with their grandkids for a little bit, but you have to tote your fuel in. So you go out there, you use a quarter tank of gas, playing with the grandkids, and then you park it and float. The weekend use is who uses the lake. The wake boats, the speed boats, ripping up and down the lake all day long. Let's say run out of fuel, and one of the pontoon people tow them back to the pier. It happens a lot. I've towed 10 people in the last 3 years. Same issue. So I think the daily launch fees need to be doubled. The annual launch fee needs to be doubled. Maybe that'll cut some of these inboard V8 boats off the lake. They're the ones that's tearing our lake up. Yeah, it's a public lake, but if you're going to take that type of boat out on a lake that's way too shallow and way too small for that use, make them pay. That's all I got to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I did look at some other launch fees
Yeah.
around the area, and I know I hate to even say the G word, but I did look at Geist. And they are $20 through the week and $40 on the weekend is what their launch fees are. I was not able to find where they offer an annual launch, but just as a note of reference there. Any other public discussion?
And the only other reason I mentioned that launch fee is because you have so many people going and taking it, because you have an honest.
And that is,
That's like giving a tomato stand.
Yeah.
Not everybody pays for the tomato.
I didn't bring that up, but that's where I was headed. So he talked about the launch fees that don't get paid. So when I think most of us know, if the boathouse is closed, the launch house, there is an Iron Ranger out there, and it's on the honor system. If we had a monitoring system at the launch, it would be a pretty easy, somebody checks in the morning, how many do you have after hours? Are there that many slips in there? And you can kind of work back into that, get police involved at that point, that there's been an unauthorized boat launched. You should have a boat number and/or a vehicle description associated with that, and that's something that we can follow up on, was my other intention with having something at the launch. Because that is an issue. Some people don't know, and some people don't pay because they don't want to. I mean, there's definitely both sides there.
Good evening, Shannon, Brad, Mark, and James. I am with Tasha Barnes Griffin, 308 North Mangrove Lane, Muncie, Indiana, 47303. And so tonight I'm standing on behalf of Indiana Black Expo, the Muncie chapter. I serve as the chair of that organization. And this past August the 1st through the 3rd, we had our annual summer celebration in Hegan Park in partnership with Muncie Parks and Recreation. And you heard Carl talk about the youth tournament that we had together, and it was an amazing time. But I'm here today to really just give a lot of thank yous, and one of them is that you all may not know, but on July 28th at the Indiana Black Expo corporate luncheon, Carl Malone was honored with the B. Moulton Foster Community Service Award for his service to the parks, to our community, and to our youth. And so we just want to say congratulations to Mr. Carl. The second thing I also would like to say is just thank you again for just the work that you all do. I want to publicly thank the mayor, Nate Sloan, and his police officers in the department for just monitoring our event on the 1st through the 3rd. We had hundreds of people in the park all weekend, and it was a very safe event. We really appreciate the parks offering up, some of the spaces that we utilize, and it was just a great thing, and so I thank you for that. I also want to thank publicly Mr. Carl and the mayor. I kind of was fussy about our event happening and not having lights at the basketball courts. Mm-hmm. And so, made a couple calls and had some long conversations, and many other community members as well. And I'm just so glad to know that there are lights there. It really was concerning because Hegan Park is a historic park in the Black community, and it was really about equity and safety for us. The people in the neighborhood deserve to be heard, felt, and seen, and so now they can really be seen because there are lights out there, and it'll promote some safety, so thank you for that. On a personal note, our family reunion was in Hegan Park last week, and we were in the big cabins, and everything, all the accommodations it was clean, everything was in working order. We had an amazing time, the grass and everything. We had family from all over Indiana and Ohio, and they commented about how nice our parks are and the care and the courtesy that they experience from Muncie Parks and Recreation. So thank you for that. And then the last thing I'll do, I'll put on my YWCA hat, and I'll give kudos to the teen, the summer intern, the teen program, the summer program. We were privy to have about 12 girls work with us during that program, and they were all there, respectful. They learned a lot about working, service, unhoused populations. We didn't have them do a lot of picking grass or trash or any of those things, but we really just brought them to our organization to learn what it looks like to serve in a nonprofit and what it takes to not have to utilize some of those services. But all in all, I just really came up to say just thank you for the work that you all are doing. Thank you to Mr. Carl and his team. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, City of Muncie. And I also want to say thank you to Legacy Life Security for making sure that our parks also stayed safe during our time there. So thank you.
Thank you. I know you already connected with Mark there, so be sure to continue to have programming out there and work through with him, and I'm excited to see more.
Hello, board.
Hi.
My name is Caleb Swartz. Can I have permission to give you guys all packets?
Certainly.
Caleb, are you a senior this year?
Yes.
All right, dude.
So today I will be speaking with you all about the Muncie Skate Park and the initiative that we have had for the past year or so for a legal graffiti wall at the skate park. So over the summer, I was able to be at the grand opening of the skate park, at that I was able to present this same exact packet that I just handed all of you to the mayor of Muncie, and he essentially endorsed the project. He advocated for the partnership with the Muncie Arts and Culture Council, and he pushed forward the initiative and basically announcing it to the public in a more grandiose fashion than just our board meetings here. And then from this packet, I'm just going to go over the executive summary for brevity's sake, since I do only have 3 minutes, but we found strong support for the graffiti wall, with 96% of respondents showing support for a dedicated graffiti wall, and 85% of those respondents believe a legal graffiti wall will reduce illegal tagging elsewhere in the park. And on that note, I've only had a chance to visit the skate park one time since I got back on Sunday into town. And I did have someone at the skate park that's a frequent user bring up the graffiti wall to me. And he asked, when is it going to be installed? Because if I have to wait any longer, I will paint the park. And that is exactly what he had said to me. So it is a growing concern that if we don't do something, that the skaters are inevitably going to probably paint on the park. So, with that, I'll continue going through the executive summary of this. But there's broad interest in participation for this project. 60% said they or their children would use the wall or participate in art workshops. 72% expressed interest in graffiti-related programming, like workshops. 54% are open to volunteering, especially for installation and events. And with youth and student engagement, 68% of respondents are current Ball State students. The majority of responses came from individuals without children, reflecting that young adults are a primary stakeholder for this project. Many respondents expressed interest in being involved as artists, mentors, or creative contributors. And community-based implementation potential, dozens of individuals provided names and contact info to help paint or design the initial installation mural. And on that note, at the grand opening of the skate park, I did find a contact with someone that does powder coating, and he has offered the services for the lockers. So I'm in the process of working out when we'll get those lockers powder coated, but they're going to be powder coated and have a rust resistant coat applied to them prior to installation. And then moving forward, respondents also suggested ideas for programming such as theme months, art contests, festivals, and artist mentorships. And then values-driven rules and conduct. The main things that were discerned from the over 200 responses from the community survey were no hate speech, slurs, or explicit imagery allowed on the wall, PG-13 guidelines with room for creativity, and respect for others' art and keeping the wall safe and inclusive. And then urban planning implications, activation of public space through art reduces vandalism and then improves perceptions of safety and promotes civic pride. A legal graffiti wall supports youth expression, social cohesion, and cultural vibrancy. The level of interest in volunteerism and programming shows the potential to build a community-based stewardship model, reducing costs and increasing sustainability of the project. And then moving forward from that, the next steps that I'm taking are, other than the powder coating, I'm working to verify the permit requirements. So I've spoken with Ms. Swackhammer. I believe it's Kylene Swackhammer. I spoke with her at the grand opening, and I'm making efforts to ensure that I will have all the permits necessary for the construction before I request actionable approval to start the construction from you guys. And then also I would like to request to be on the agenda for next month's Parks Board meeting. And at that meeting, I would like to be able to review my proposed rules and signage for the wall. And then with that, we were able at the grand opening to reach our $500 goal for fundraising. And I'm in the process of getting that matched by Ball State University. In addition to that $1,000 that we will have that was community sourced funding, I will be the gap financier for the wall. My estimates are that it should take no more than $3,000 to get it fully installed with everything. And I'm fully committed to paying that difference from what has been raised by the community because I am so passionate about this project. And then with that, the rules and signage that I will present to you at next month's meeting, I will also have an itemized budget for the construction of the wall, as well as an itemized one-year maintenance plan, hopefully. I'll have that together as well. That item might have to be put off to another board meeting. And then moving forward with all of that information that I'll have for you at the next month's board meeting, I will be making contact with Muncie Arts and Culture Council to begin to secure that partnership and come up with a written agreement in line with what you guys would like to be in that agreement, as well as the things that have come out from this community survey. And that is pretty much the gist of the update.
Excellent. There's a lot there. Got quite a packet
Yeah.
together, so I'm going to have some reading at home here. It looks like you've given me.
I have some
Yeah.
questions. Is that okay
Yeah,
with you?
go ahead with some
Okay.
questions.
I can't remember, do you have the lockers?
Yes, I do have the lockers.
Okay, you have all of them? You have all that you need?
Yes, I have all the lockers and we have.
And then the funding is for installation and purchasing the wood
Yes,
structures around those,
it-
and that's approximately 3,000?
So
Okay.
that also includes the cost of concrete. That'll include the cost of paying the people
Okay.
that I'll be finishing the concrete with because I don't want to do it alone, and also it's easier to do with a team. So I have a couple of people that from Hunger Skate Parks as well as
Yeah.
people that do other concrete.
Have you thought about using patronicity as a grant? It's a match funding. We've used it for some Whiteley Community Council, their capital campaign. And then we also, actually for a parks project, used it for Halteman.
Holtzman's used it twice.
Yeah.
I know Country Village has used it.
It's called Patronicity.
Yes.
I can get with you after the meeting and get
Yep.
you some details.
And
That'd
so
be
that could like literally double your budget.
Oh, okay. That would be very helpful.
And then we could also send out, it's typically open for like a month or 2 or 3, I forget. But then we could blast that and send it out on our socials,
Okay.
our city socials,
Mhm.
and the skate parks, all that. So-
Absolutely, I would greatly appreciate that. This project is, it is on a little bit of an increased timeline. I initially had anticipated that I would be sticking around Muncie after graduation, but I had an internship with Breckenridge, Colorado
Oh, good.
over the summer. And tomorrow I have an interview for a full-time position, and it's looking likely that they will hire me on in December, but I will not forget about this project, and I definitely will plan to continue to follow up on it and make sure that this is something that I can actually achieve before I actually part ways with Muncie. And I also want to note that after installation, I will be installing like deer cams to track the wall, and to be able to monitor, because I plan to have a forum that people can fill out once they paint on the wall, but not everyone is going to do that. So by having video footage of the wall, I'll be able to kind of document the success of the wall over time. And then also the Arts Council will be the one that kind of manages the wall, so.
We could, as a city government, we could also apply for a rapid grant through some local organizations. If you don't have time for patronicity, for like $5,000. So if you, why don't we exchange emails?
Yeah. that
They
sounds
might
perfect.
be interested in this because it's an art project and they already support the parks. So this might be right up some of the local foundations.
Okay, perfect. I really do appreciate the leads on possible
And
more
it's a quick
financing.
turnaround typically with responses.
Awesome.
Okay?
Now, it seems like my memory maybe isn't great. What was the scope?
The scope will be one section. So if you flip to the second to last page
Okay.
of that construction document,
Yeah.
there will only be one installation.
Okay.
So it will only be the two sides of lockers on the one installation. That rendering you see there was from a related project that I did in school, but I just took the rendering because it looked nice and it does show what the lockers will look like when they're constructed.
So this is what it'll look like
Yes,
Basically.
just as one, like,
Bank.
concrete
Oh,
bay.
just one bank.
Yeah, one bay. And then the X that's marked on the site plan on the last page of the packets that I gave you all is my proposed location for the wall. This is between the roadway and the skate park. However, it is located in the least prominent location of the park because that section is already kind of shaded by trees. And I think that would be the best location for this because it's also avoiding the new installation that could come from additional phases of the skate park, and we have to keep that in mind.
And what if we did two? Could we do two banks for 6,000?
If we can secure the funding, yes.
Okay, and there's space?
I mean, there's definitely space there in that area to do two lockers. But
Okay.
yeah, that would just be something that we need funding for in order to do.
And where, just one last question. What department are you securing the funding from at Ball State?
It'll be the College of Architecture and Planning. Andrea Sports has been my contact for that. But yeah, I'm in the urban planning department for Ball State.
Okay.
Is that all of your questions?
Good work.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Board? Yeah, thank you, Caleb. Glad to have you back.
I
Good
appreciate
luck
it.
on your interview.
Thanks.
Hate to see you go.
Great town, though. Breckenridge is.
Are you coming to the mic, Carl? Not yet? All right,
Oh, gosh.
No, I just wanted to say thank you to our new latest employee, Miss out of Prairie Creek. We spent a couple hours today together, been out there the last couple of weeks on some other stuff, and it's just been great to see the energy that she's provided in a short period of time, and so we appreciate everything she's doing. So I just wanted to make sure the board knew it.
Yes.
And thank you and Nikki, thank you too for all that she does. She's another one that wears multiple hats in our Parks Department, and so I'm appreciative to have a team member that don't mind going above.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Definitely.
And also, let me get back up here. Miss Latasha Griffin for her support. She was one of the ones that was riding my shoulders a little bit about those lights. I was trying to say safety, and she was trying to say, okay, but we need those lights.
Yep.
And I can understand, she wasn't the only one. There was other ones that were talking about it throughout the community. So that weekend, she did kind of win me over. And the next day, I think we got the lights up and going.
Good.
So, thank you.
Thank you, Carl. Thank you. The last formal item we've got on the agenda is the drill in the pool. I know we talked about that a little bit already. Anything else to add on that?
No, come on out September 6th to Tui Pool with your dogs.
Just getting a pretty good response on it.
Good,
We
yeah.
already have, when I left today, I think we had 35.
Okay,
people
good.
Who had already responded with their dog size and everything.
Okay,
else.
good.
Do you need to pre-register for that, or can you show up at the door?
You can show up at the door.
And you just need proof of your vaccinations and current status of the
Yep.
dog? Yep. Any other action items, events for approval, or board vote? Any other public input? I know there's some names on there, but I think everybody got covered. Somebody else has got something to share. If nothing else, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed, same sign. Meeting adjourned.